how did he become a billionaire?
We ourselves sometimes don't believe.
Uncle Aliko is a very different kind of billionaire.
This is probably an exercise of its own kind.
It takes a vision, and it's the vision of one man, which is absolutely extraordinary.
To do something of this size and magnitude.
I came in through the graduate engineer training program, and then the program is...
I was part of the project execution team at the...
What started as a simple business question led to my discovery of one of the most incredible success stories ever told in Africa. You see, if you come across Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or Mark Zuckerberg, I'm pretty much sure you'll be familiar with all of them. But when it comes to the founder, president and CEO of Dangote Group, it is quite likely that you have never seen or even heard of him before.
Honestly, it takes guts, it takes a vision, and it's the vision of one man.
He goes by the name Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and his company, founded in 1981, is one of the greatest success stories ever told in Africa. And so, the journey of how a young Nigerian boy who lost his father at the age of 8 turned a $3,000 loan he borrowed from his uncle into a multi-billion-dollar company that influences so much in Africa, but yet is so rarely discussed is fascinating. What he has achieved is not only remarkable, but is filled with some very useful lessons and genius business strategies. He owns the largest cement production company in Africa with a market capitalization of almost $14 billion on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and is continually growing rapidly like a giant octopus with tentacles reaching into almost every part of Africa, like Benin, Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, and so much more. Dangote's business interests encompass many industries, including oil and gas, consumer goods, and manufacturing. However, Dangote Cement makes up the majority of the conglomerate's revenue, of which it owns a staggering 85% shares. According to Forbes magazine, the subsidiary produces 48.6 million metric tons of cement every year and operates in 10 African countries. He also owns the world's third largest sugar refinery. In 2022, Dangote Cement Group reported an annual revenue of 443.7 billion Nigerian nairas, approximately $955.4 million. In his home country of Nigeria, Dangote Group has dominated the country's most profitable companies like the Nigerian breweries, Zenith Bank, Globalcom, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, MTN Group, and on multiple occasions, the economy of Nigeria quite literally depends on the actions of Aliko Dangote. What he has achieved is ridiculously impressive. Wealth, power, and influence, he has it all. No wonder many awards and honors have been bestowed upon him at home and abroad over the years. In 2011, he was honored with the title of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, referred to as G-Con, which is Nigeria's second highest honor, in recognition of his contributions to Nigeria's economic development. In 2013, he was honored with the title of Grand Commander of the National Order of Benin. 2021, Commander of the National Order of Valor of Cameroon, and in 2022, he was named Commander of the Order of Merit of Niger. His multi-billion-dollar business empire is one of the largest private sector employers in Nigeria and is also the most valuable conglomerate in West Africa. This massive expansion has earned him a position in the list of billionaires in Africa and the rest of the world. In 2008, he made his debut on Forbes magazine's annual list of billionaires in the world. In 2011, when Forbes launched its annual list of 40 richest people in Africa, Dangote was on top spot, and since then he has routinely ranked on both lists and in other similar measures of wealth in Africa and the rest of the world. Even his nephew, the popular Afrobeat superstar David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, a Nigerian singer, songwriter, record producer, and prominent artist, known for his contributions to African music and recognition for his unique style and impactful music, which has played a significant role in the evolution of African music, in an interview with Forbes said, quote, "Uncle Aliko Dangote is a very different kind of billionaire. Every time I see him, he just says one thing: save your money. There is nothing more he tells me. Every time, save your money."
Your godfather, Aliko Dangote, who I met, is the richest man in Africa.
Uncle Aliko is a very different kind of billionaire. He's a very, very disciplined and very, very different kind of billionaire. Every time I see him, he just says one thing and one thing only: save your money. There's nothing more he tells me every time, just save your money.
In 2023, Dangote was again named the richest man in Africa for the 12th time in a row, with an estimated net worth of over $15.4 billion, and is also the richest black man in the world. Hated by some, admired by others, there will surely never be another man quite like Aliko Dangote. In this documentary, we are going on a journey to find out how a young Nigerian boy who lost his father at the age of 8 turned a $3,000 loan he borrowed from his uncle into a multi-billion-dollar company that influences so much in Africa, but yet is so rarely discussed. How he got to this level, what's he planning next, and what does it mean for the African continent, if not the world? This is the story of Alhaji Aliko Dangote, founder, president and CEO of Dangote Group and one of Africa's leading industrialists and philanthropists. Hey guys, before we get into the next part of this video, I want to say thank you for watching up to this level. I really do appreciate it. If you find this video interesting, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notifications for 𝗟𝗲𝗁𝗀. These type of videos take a very long time to make, so please kindly consider supporting my work. I'm working on some even bigger and more exciting documentaries, so if you want to see them when they are ready, just hit the notification button now and I will love you forever. With all that said and done, let's get back into the video. Alhaji Aliko Dangote of the Hausa ethnic group was born on April 10, 1957 in Kano, Nigeria, to Maria Sanusi Dantata and Mohammed Dangote. Dangote was raised in the Islamic faith and is a practicing Muslim. His maternal ancestors were prosperous caravan traders under British colonial rule, and his grandfather Alhaji Sanusi Dantata was a commodities trader. His father died when he was 8 years old, leaving him to be raised by his maternal grandfather. Raised by his grandfather, who was heavily involved in Dangote's upbringing and helped inspire the entrepreneurial spirit in his grandson, Dangote quickly became interested in the world of business at the age of 8. Quote, "I can remember when I was in primary school, I would go and buy cartons of sweets and sell them just to make money. I was so interested in business even at that time." After completing studies in business at the Al-Azhar University, an Islamic institution in Cairo, Egypt in 1977, Dangote returned to his home country, Nigeria, at the age of 21, where he borrowed $3,000 from his uncle to start a business. He started with importation of traded commodities at wholesale prices from international suppliers. This included sugar, rice, fisheries, and other consumer goods for distribution in the Nigerian market. Two of his main imports were rice from Thailand and sugar from Brazil. He then sold these items in small quantities to consumers in his village at reasonably affordable prices. His business was so successful that in 1981, he incorporated other businesses and established the Dangote Group. The group later moved into manufacturing in the 1990s, starting with textiles, moving on to flour milling, salt processing, and sugar refining by the end of that decade. His empire extended to foodstuffs including pasta, sugar, salt, and wheat. He later moved into business supplies, primarily cement. His new business venture slowly became successful, and as a result, he managed to repay the loan within months of doing business. In an interview with Forbes, Dangote claims that on his best days, he was realizing a daily net profit of $10,000. Among his holdings were the Dangote Industries Limited, Dangote Bay Nigeria Limited, Dangote Cement PLC, Benue Cement Company PLC, Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC, Dangote Flour Mills PLC, and Nascon Allied Industries PLC. In addition to its holdings in Nigeria, the Dangote Group has operations in several African countries. However, this massive expansion taught him so many lessons that left him with a lot of genius business questions for future expansion. In 1997, Dangote realized that acting as a middleman was a very costly adventure, and so he built a plan to produce what he had been importing and selling for the previous 20 years. Each of his manufacturing divisions has since been separated into publicly traded companies, notably the Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC, National Salt Company of Nigeria PLC, and Dangote Cement PLC. Within this same time, he was awarded a state-owned cement company where he significantly expanded the operations of the company in 2005 by constructing $1 million manufacturing plant. The construction was financed with $319 million of Dangote's own money, in addition to $479 million loan from the International Finance Corporation, a sister organization of the World Bank.
I think we must congratulate a man like Aliko Dangote for this very laudable. About 2.5 to 3 years ago, he actually came to the banks. At that time, I was an operator, and he said he wanted to go into fertilizer, petrochemical, as well as refinery business. We started with the fertilizer side of it, but today these three projects were costing them at almost about $14 billion, out of which he is contributing 50%. $14 billion, about 2.8 trillion naira.
What gives me joy is how many people I've actually helped through job creation, through doing so many things, and in future I want to make sure that Nigeria is self-sufficient in rail lines, in power, in a lot of things.
The company's next move into cement production witnessed massive growth and almost immediately became the largest cement production company in Africa, with a market capitalization of almost $14 billion on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, with subsidiaries in Benin, Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and Zambia. In December 2010, the group signed an agreement with the government of Zambia to construct a $400 million cement plant in Zambia. It was completed in 2015 and is located in Dola. The plant produces 42.5 grade cement to compete against the lower grade but dominant 32.5 products in the market. The plant is estimated to produce an annual output of 1.5 million metric tons of cement.
In Dangote Group, we like challenging things, and we like to make sure that we do things where we'll make our country proud and also self-sufficient.
Unlike many wealthy Nigerians who made their fortune in the oil and gas industry, like Austin Avuro, CEO, 𝗟𝗲𝗁 Petroleum Development Company PLC, Femi Otedola, Chairman, Fort Oil PLC, ABC Ojiako, Chairman and co-founder, 𝗟𝗲 Petroleum, Mike Adenuga, Founder, Globacom, Wale Tinubu, Group CEO, Oando PLC. Dangote, on the other hand, initially took a different direction, which is one of the main reasons why the Dangote Group has continually witnessed exponential growth since its inception. In addition, Dangote has always reinvested majority of his profits into his businesses. During an interview with 𝗟𝗲𝗘, he explained, quote, "We, the Dangote Group, are not doing like other Africans who keep most of their money in the bank. We do not keep money in the bank. We fully reinvest whatever profit we make, and we keep reinvesting."
Nigeria is a leading oil and gas producer in Africa. With vast resources so significant, she would have been a member of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, for 52 years by July the 12th, 2023. But exploration...
With Nigeria, despite being a leading oil-producing country in Africa, but yet relying heavily on importation of most of its refined petroleum products, Dangote saw a business opportunity for expansion. And so in 2013, he joined the oil and gas business. His oil and gas refinery, located at Lekki Free Zone in Lagos, Nigeria, also includes a fertilizer plant and a power station. This massive oil refinery was initially scheduled to go operational in 2021, but after several years of delays, the refinery, the largest in the whole of Africa, recently opened in May 2023, even though not yet fully operational. It is anticipated that the refinery's production capacity of 650,000 barrels per day will significantly alter Nigeria's energy sector by eliminating the need for imported fuel while producing excess to export. When fully operational, it is expected that the oil refinery will significantly reduce Nigeria's reliance on international suppliers for oil and gas and will end the importation of over $7 billion in fuel in the previous years. The The $15 billion refinery in Nigeria is the largest industrial project ever in Nigeria and is expected to produce 650,000 barrels of oil per day.
That is the kind of project that we think we should support. And we think we need to encourage more Nigerians to begin to think like Aliko Dangote.
Dangote is also well known for its humanitarian efforts. In 1994, the Dangote Foundation was incorporated for its philanthropic endeavors. It was renamed Aliko Dangote Foundation or ADF in 2018. The foundation has focused much effort on addressing childhood malnutrition. It has also contributed towards combating viruses such as the Ebola, coronavirus and the polio virus. This initiative has significantly provided disaster relief.
It provides disadvantaged and vulnerable women with one of unconditional 10,000 cash transfer to boost their household income generation. This, we believe, will help reduce their vulnerability and meet their livelihood needs.
You see, Dangote's journey to becoming a multi-billionaire might seem like an easy journey, but in reality, the battle is tough. It's filled with struggle. It's full of ups and downs. It will mean swallowing some difficult truths that the school system and society haven't told you yet. Anything or anyone you see and admire today started from somewhere. It is all about starting small, taking every single step with full focus and not giving up no matter the challenges. The problem with today's society is that we usually pay attention to the big things and we believe they are the only things that matter. It is only normal at the beginning to imagine that the big things are important, but when we reach the top, we realize we got there thanks to the small steps we took. If you may not have the opportunity to do great things like Aliko Dangote, do small things in a great way. It doesn't matter how big your dream is, doing small things in a great way will go a long way towards achieving those dreams. Small things can impact our lives positively, and small signs of progress are more important than we think when it comes to building resilience and commitment. Most of our plans and ambitions usually fail because they often involve large scales and big steps. Small things done in a great way are much more doable and build our confidence. Nowadays, most startups or small businesses fail because we don't take out some time to really define ourselves. Knowing who we are is hard, but defining ourselves by who we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. That's the process of elimination. Defining myself, for example, means accepting the fact that I'm not Aliko Dangote, nor am I Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos or Jack Ma. I am not even Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, 𝗟𝗲𝗂𝗓𝗓 𝗚𝗡𝗧𝗏, neither am I Albert Einstein or Neil Armstrong. You know, life has never been easy, and it might even gonna get worse unless we accept the realities and start pushing through the challenges. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. You don't have to be great to get started, but you need to get started to be great. Think about all the jobs, opportunities, industries and businesses at the top right now, but didn't exist before 2009. Billion-dollar brands like TikTok, Instagram, Bitcoin, Uber, WhatsApp, Grammarly, among others, were founded just about a decade ago. If the founders of these platforms didn't have the mindset of continually learning, applying new technologies and opportunities, their inventions would not exist. From scientists and engineers to entrepreneurs, rising artists, comedians, award-winning footballers like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo at the top of their respective industries can tell you more about their journey to the top. If these public figures never had the hunger and determination to push limits and endure pain, little or no attention would have been given to them. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, but the less you know, the more you think you know everything. Learn from others who have succeeded and failed before you. Listen to the great teachers and leaders. Listen to friends, family, business colleagues to form better relationships. Listen to feedback and critics to improve yourself. Be humble enough to accept defeat if defeated, and determined enough to follow your dreams. Read about any successful person at the top of their industry and the story is almost always the same. There was at least one point in their life when they were down and out, where everything seemed impossible. Like there was no way out, when 99.9% of people would have given in and settled for an average life. But they kept going and somehow turned everything around. Not only did they turn it around, but they applied the lessons and grew from the failures. This is the attitude you need to have if you want to be successful. So, are you willing to sacrifice now so you can enjoy later? Are you willing to suffer for a few years so you can spend the rest of your life on your terms? Please join me. Let's take on the journey together. But I warn you, the battle is tough. It's filled with struggle. It's full of ups and downs. It will mean swallowing some difficult truths that the school system and society haven't told you yet. And let me be honest with you, there are many of us who might not make it to the end of this road. But for those who do, at the end of this struggle lies the freedom of never having to worry about money again. Again, I ask you this question. Are you willing to sacrifice now so you can enjoy later? Are you willing to suffer for a few years so you can spend the rest of your life on your terms? If yes, then you have got to be willing to stand there alone and face disappointment, not have support, feel lonely, doubt yourself sometimes, lose money in the process, being rejected again and again and again, but refuse to give up until you finally start getting some results. If you are new to this channel and you think this type of videos are useful to you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notifications for 𝗟𝗲𝗂𝗏. These type of videos take a very long time to make, so please kindly consider supporting my work. I'm working on some even bigger and more exciting documentaries, so if you want to see them when they are ready, just hit the notification button now and I will love you forever. Don't forget to share after watching to help someone somewhere. If you are still here, I want to say thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next edition. Until then, bye bye for now.